Solid wall insulation. Is external or internal insulation better? So, internal, external, we get asked that all the time. I like external. It does reduce condensation risk. You know, there's a lot of pros to it. One of my concerns is sort of contractor. You're really dependent on the contractor getting it right. What are you thinking about external insulation?
Yeah, I think external insulation is a really good way of improving the performance of an existing building, especially if you're targeting thick layers of insulation. You can do it in a relatively low risk manner. It's a way of improving the aesthetic of the building. It can improve the weather facing nature of the wall if you've got absorbent porous masonry bricks.
Yeah, definitely.
But it does require attention to detail around window apertures. It requires someone to think about how it's going to connect to other elements like the eaves and so on. So it's not without some complexity from a design perspective.
But you've got all the benefits of doing it externally, so you don't have to worry about upsetting the occupants and decanting them to somewhere else. So yeah, there's definite upsides to it. What are the downsides to external, really?
I think for me, time of year, the speed in which you might progress through the work and complexities around some of the existing services that might require you to liaise with utility
roof
companies.
overhangs, boundaries, the fact that it sticks out from the existing building if you're on a terrace or in a semi. There's various issues with certainly with adjacent buildings, isn't there? Internal wall insulation's our big thing. We're good at that.
That's absolutely, yeah.
I like the fact that you can have a big boost in comfort with thin layers of insulation. You're minimising the risk of interstitial condensation or the effects of interstitial condensation, any associated moisture risks. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think internal wall insulation is a really good way to improve both insulation and air tightness with one measure. So the effect in terms of occupancy perception of comfort can be improved dramatically with a relatively thin layer of insulation. I think one of the key things which we tend to get involved with is making sure that the insulation specification is right for the specifics of that building.
Yeah, definitely. So in summary then, external insulation, you're not upsetting the occupants, you're minimising your moisture risk. The downside is that you do have quite a big chunk of insulation on the outside, particularly to give that sort of boost in comfort internally. You've got issues with roof overhangs, abutments with other buildings, window sills, plinth area, there's various areas to consider. What about internal?
Yeah, internal, I think the main thing really is ensuring that the specification is appropriate for the building type, which is, as you mentioned, something that we can specialise in supporting. There's pros and cons to both approaches, and in some instances, maybe a combination of both strategies are necessary to achieve the overall scope of the project.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent. Thank you very much.